Hey everybody, welcome to an album review, a live album review. As I posted a video a few days ago saying I was going to, in honor of purchasing tickets to see Primus for the 10th time, I was going to review their discography, and well, this is the first video for that. This will be a review of Primus's first release, Suck on This, a live album. Now, Primus consists of Les Claypool on the bass and vocals, Larry Lalonde on guitar, and Tim Herb Alexander on drums. Now, the drumming position would change over the years, but this is regarded as the classic Primus lineup. Now, to describe Primus is very hard. There's some funk, there's some metal, there's a little bit of everything. Les Claypool likes to describe their music as psychedelic polka, which I guess is as good a description as any. Very strange band, and one of my favorite bands. Very hard to classify a genre for these guys. But if you're into weird, very talented music, you need to check out Primus. So, let's get into this. Yes, you heard right, it's a live album. Their first ever release was a live album, which doesn't happen too often. I think the Yardbirds' first album was a live album. 5 Live Yardbirds. I think that was their first album. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think I am, but correct me if I'm wrong. And yeah, it doesn't happen too often where a band's first album is a live album. So this album was recorded in February and March of 1989 at Berkeley Square in Berkeley, California. It was released in November of 1989, and at the time of them doing these live recordings, the classic lineup of Les Claypool, Larry Lalonde, and Tim Alexander had only been playing together for 2 months. And it doesn't seem like it when you listen to it. It's very tight and a lot of energy for this live recording. That's what she said. And what ended up happening is Les Claypool borrowed $3,000 from his dad to finance the recording and to do 1,000 pressings of the album on Les Claypool's own record label, Prawn Song Records, which he still owns. And it was later licensed to Caroline Records, which is the copy I have on CD. It's a very old CD. And then later, once Primus signed a major label contract, they licensed it to Interscope Records. Now, the thing with Primus is it's all about the bass, as that annoying girl said in that annoying fucking song within the last couple of years. I don't remember her name. Megan Trainor, is that her name? That song fucking sucks. But they really are about the bass. Les Claypool is pretty much the best bass player around. And, I mean, it's arguably the best bass player around. There's Geddy Lee, there's John Entwistle, John Entwistle's dead, but there's a lot of great bass players in the history of rock, or whatever you want to call it. Jack Bruce, who's also dead. I know I'm forgetting. Paul McCartney was a great bass player. There's a lot of great bass players. That's what I'm getting at. And Les Claypool, I think, is probably the best out of them that I've heard. Yeah, so let's get into the songs for this live album. I'm not going to get too much into the descriptions of these songs because All these songs would later be released in some form in some studio version on some album or soundtrack or whatever. So I'm just going to tell you the songs, give a little description, and tell you what they were later released on, because I'll be reviewing the whole discography, so I will get to these songs in more detail later on. So the first song, John the Fisherman. This version on Suck on This, before they got into the actual song, they start off by playing a portion of the song YYZ by Rush, which is an instrumental by Rush, and it's fucking awesome. Les Claypool is, and I'm assuming the rest of the band are huge. There's a huge Rush fan, and as am I. And you can really tell, like, the setup of the band, bass, drums, guitar, and bass being the main instrument. Well, not saying that bass is the main instrument in Rush, but it's really pronounced and out there. And even the font, a lot of the times that Primus uses, resembles the font that Rush used for their name. But John the Fisherman, great song. It was later included on their debut studio album, Frizzle Fry, and it became their first single. So, and I've heard it's on Guitar Hero. I don't play Guitar Hero because I actually play guitar, so I don't know what I'm doing on that game. So, yeah. I'll talk about that later. Groundhog's Day, number 2. It's another song that was later released on Frizzle Fry, their debut studio album, and I believe it's the second track. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure I got the track listing down. Like I said, not getting into these songs too deep. Just telling you what they're later going to be on. Number 3, number 2 is Groundhog Day. Number 3 is The Heckler, which was later released as, in a studio version, long after this version. It was released as a bonus track, or a hidden track, on Antipop by Primus, which was released in 1999, I believe. So that was released much later on, 10 years after this version. Hold on, I got a pop-up on here I got to get rid of. There we go. Okay. So yeah, The Heckler, number 3, released as a hidden bonus track on Antipop. Number 4, The Pressmen, was later released on their third studio album, Pork Soda, which was a big hit album. One thing I will say about the song is I like both versions a lot. I prefer the Suck on This live version. I don't know why exactly, but I do. Number 5, Jelike-It. People mispronounce this all the time. It's not Jelly-Kit, it's Jelike-It. Because he says, Jelike-It? Like, did you like it? The fast way of saying, did you like it? It was later released in a different version that was more slowed down and strange. They did a studio version of this, like I said, in a different tempo and different everything, and they renamed it Bastardizing Jelike-It, because they basically took the song Jelike-It and made it all different, and they bastardized it. And it was released as a studio version on the soundtrack for the movie Airheads, which you might remember had Adam Sandler, Steve Buscemi, and I forgot the guy's name. The guy who played George of the Jungle. He was in the Brendan Fraser. Yeah, they were in that movie. So, I believe Chris Farley was in that movie too, as was White Zombie, which was awesome. But yeah, it's on that. I like Jelike-It's probably one of my favorite Primus songs, and I've seen them 9 times now, going on 10, and I've never seen them play it live. And I'd really like to see them do the song live, and I'd really like to see them record a studio version that's like the live version. I like Bastardizing Jelike-It, but I prefer the normal version of Jelike-It. So I'd like to see that happen someday. Maybe they have recorded and have never released it, but if they have, I'm unaware of it. But I'd like to see that. Number 6, Tommy the Cat. Was later released on their second album, Sailing the Seas of Cheese. Was actually a pretty popular song for them. And still is. It's one of the songs they play live a lot. I really like this live version. The bass solo is incredible. And when they released it on Sailing the Seas of Cheese, they had Tom Waits do the vocals for Tommy the Cat. And I'm a huge Tommy the Cat fan. But more about that version when I get to Sailing the Seas of Cheese. If you ever seen the movie Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, which is the sequel to Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, in the Battle of the Bands segment, Primus is in that playing Tommy the Cat, and that's pretty awesome. So, if you've never seen that movie, that portion of it is worth watching it by itself. So, number 7, Pudding Time, was later released on Frizzle Fry. I really like Pudding Time live. It's one of my favorite songs to see Primus do live is Pudding Time. It's just a great, crazy, nonsensical song. Number 8, Herald of the Rocks, was also later released on Frizzle Fry. And if I know I said it before, it's their debut studio album, which was released the following year after Suck on This. And of course, the last song, Frizzle Fry, which was, you guessed it, released on Frizzle Fry. Their debut studio album, released the following year. So those are the songs on this live album. Their debut recording, it is great. If you want to know what Primus is like live, listen to this album. It's so fucking good. I still listen to it quite a bit. And I think it's after You Like It. He says, we're Primus and we suck. And this started the whole, they used to say that live. This started the whole thing where if you go to a Primus show, you hear a lot of people chanting Primus sucks. And if you're new to the whole Primus thing, you wonder why everyone is saying that and why they paid money to go to the show if they think Primus sucks. But they don't think Primus sucks. This is just what we say. And we love Primus and we don't actually think they suck. But it's just a chant we do when we see them live because it's Primus. It's hard to explain, but it's great. Great live album. Check it out. If I had to give a rating on it, as far as a live album goes, I would give it a 10 out of 10. If I'm rating it as part of Primus's discography, an 8. I'll give it an 8. Because they have lots of great stuff. So that's the first video on the Primus discography. Suck on This live, released 1989. Check it out. And next time, I will be doing Frizzle Fry. I'll say it, debut studio album, released the following year. So, have a great day, and Primus sucks.